Making tax painful, or as it's officially known as, making tax digital. For you self-employed and landlords out there that's used to filing self-assessment tax returns on the 31st of January, one per year, you are going to be in for a shock. You could be expected to file up to 11 tax returns per year. So stay tuned as we go into the more detail. Making tax painful. Landlords and self-employed for that matter face hefty fines if they ignore the making tax digital rules. So make sure you don't fall into that trap. We are going to help you understand what information is required from HMRC. My name is Simon Michevich from Optimize. I help property investors like your good self to make more money whilst reducing their tax liability. There's our website, so feel free to check that out. There's lots of information that you can download for free using those QR codes that's showing on your screen. One, we have a property tax ebook and a property tax course right on YouTube. The links will also be in the description box below. Now, if you're looking for people to help you grow your property portfolio, then check out this map that's showing on the QR code, plus the link in the description box again, where it will show people who will help you build property portfolios because they're property sources or they provide services to you as a landlord. So feel free to check that out. Making tax digital, to summarize, you have to look at your income across the previous tax year. So what I'm looking at here, I'm looking at the first column, 2026-27. Now the MTD requirement, I'm going to show you that number in a second, but it's always going to be based on the previous tax year. So whatever your income, gross combined income, and I mentioned gross income from self-employment and rental income, whatever those combined incomes are, and it meets the criteria of 26-27, then you need to register for making tax digital in that year. So it's always looking back 1 year. So it's not forecasting, it's looking at actual historical data. So if your self-employment income or rental income in 2025-26 was more than £50,000 or £50,000 or more, I should say, you would have to be ready for making tax digital in the year 26-27 and onwards. So if your 2026-27 gross income from those two activities is more than £30,000, yes, you've guessed it, you have to register for MTD in 2027-28 and so on. Now you may be saying, well, I have no income or I have no profit. Now, if you have no income, you do not currently need to worry about MTD. If it's below £20,000, you can see that you won't need to register at all. But please note that this is based on gross income. It is not based on your profit. It is not based on the amount of losses that you carry forward. It is based on the current gross income in the tax year, not taking into account any costs whatsoever. So what information do HMRC want? So HMRC wants to look at your income and costs. So really, you have to be up to date with your bookkeeping. And I would suggest you do this on a monthly basis now. For many of you, self-employed and landlords, this is going to be painful because you're probably used to doing, and I'm saying you are used to doing it. There is a statistic out there that says 85% of people file their tax return on the 30th or 31st January. That's a lot of you. So now you're going to be required to do your income and cost bookkeeping on a monthly basis, ready for your quarterly reporting. And that's my next point. You have to do this on a quarterly basis. So that's going to be a problem for you because if you look at your April, beginning of the tax year, May and June, you will have to do your first quarter in July. And for many of you, that's going to be a bit of a shock. And you have to get used to this because there's going to be fines and penalties for not doing this. At the end of the year, you have to do an end of period statement, EOSP. At the end of the tax year, you must do for the final filing. Doesn't stop there though. You have to do a final declaration, which then replaces your self-assessment tax return. So as a landlord, you have to have one system for that. So if you're using online bookkeeping software, for instance, you can only use one license for your rental income. Then you need to do another one for your self-employment. So if you're got both activities going on, rental income plus self-employment, you have to have 2 systems. That can be quite expensive. So that means you have to do quarterly reporting for being a landlord, quarterly reporting for being self-employed. There's 8 returns that you have to do in a year. Wow. Plus the year-end summaries, there's another 2, so that could be 10, plus the final declaration at the end of it. And like I say, there are hefty penalties and fines coming along. Some ideas to take away some of this pain: use that property tax QR code to get some advice about how MTD will affect you and how you can get around it. But some other things you can do is 1, open up a metal bank account. 2nd, open a free agent bookkeeping system. Use combined, you get free bookkeeping, free banking. So have a look at metal and free agent to reduce your cost of MTD and get electronified. Hopefully that's been useful. My name is Simon Mishevich from Optimize Accountant. Why not book a 10-minute discovery call with me to see how we can help you? Use that QR code, or the link will be in the description box as well.